Hey guys, it's Heather. Welcome to Module 22 of the Money Spot program on how to build a six-figure product business. In this module, we'll go through which social media networks are the best ones to be using from my experience, how much time you should be spending on each social media outlet, and how your social media strategy might need to change over time. Enjoy. Hopefully you like it, so hit the like button, subscribe, and importantly, in these COVID-19 times, if you know someone that would benefit from this knowledge, share it with them. Thanks. Welcome to Module 22 of the Money Spot program, Marketing, Social Network Strategies. This module is all about making the most efficient use of the social networks. Whilst the social networks are very effective in promoting yourself and your business, they can also take a lot of your time. So you need to be strategic about how you use them. Which social networks should you focus on for the best engagement? I suggest that you need a platform for sharing videos, another platform for sharing your blogs and your microblogs, and another platform for sharing pictures. So as you will be creating these types of content, you want the best platform for sharing that type of content. So for instance, it's no good to produce videos in whatever format and upload them to your Facebook only. You have to upload them to YouTube because when people want to watch videos, they typically go to YouTube as a first point of contact. Especially if you're working on your own, you need to focus your energies. Focus on the social media platforms where your fans and prospects are likely to be. For a beauty business, and indeed for most product businesses, I would suggest Facebook, YouTube, so Facebook for pretty much any type of media, be it a video, a blog post, or a picture, YouTube for videos, Twitter for microblogs. I would also use Twitter efficiently by automating your posts in the way that we discussed in the social media automation module. Even if your posts are automated, make sure you pay Twitter regular visits to retweet, respond to comments, engage with fans, and see what other people are tweeting. Then for more picture sharing, you should use either Instagram or Pinterest as a secondary but important platform. I say secondary, but in the future, in fact, even now, they're primary sources of traffic for some people. If you understand Instagram and Pinterest, you can get a lot of traffic and attention for your products and your website. If you do decide to use Instagram or Pinterest as your primary social networking platform, then you'll probably do a little bit less on Twitter and Facebook. That's not a problem. I recently read that Instagram has 15 times higher engagement than all the other social platforms, which is great. It means people are looking at these pictures. The only problem I have with Instagram is that you can't put in links to get people from Instagram to your website. But this might change in future, so I actually always include links in my Instagram posts. I have no idea when Instagram will activate hyperlinking, but I'm pretty sure they'll do it in the future. Even if you choose 3 platforms to focus on for your business, you will find that one will naturally take a lot more of your time and attention because you get much more fan engagement there, or you just enjoy the type of engagement that you get on that platform. That's absolutely fine. For me, that was Facebook. For you, it might be something else. And although Facebook was a lot of fun for me initially, I'm really starting to get into YouTube and Instagram. How much time should you spend on social networking? In the early days, as you tweak headers, descriptions, and your links constantly, expect to spend much more time on social media. Once you're all set up, I would suggest these kind of timescales for each platform. For Facebook, 20 to 30 minutes a day posting and responding to comments should be enough. You can split it into 15 minutes at one point in the day and 15 minutes later in the day. On YouTube, I'd spend 15 to 30 minutes a day responding to comments. Ensure your uploads are of the required standard. That means have great tags, a findable title, a good description, and a custom thumbnail. On Twitter, 5 to 15 minutes a day is probably enough if you're automating your tweets. If your tweets are automated, then the only work you're doing there is just checking interactions, which doesn't actually take a lot of time. On Instagram and Pinterest, I say you decide. For some businesses, these platforms become very important, and you might spend half an hour on each of them and not as much time on Facebook, whatever works for you. The important thing is to do your posting when your fans are actually likely to be online. There's no point being up at 3 a.m. posting stuff to your social network when no one is up at that time. Importantly, if most of your fans are, say, in the US but you live in the UK, be conscious of what time it is in the US. And vice versa, if you're in the US and you really want to get fan engagement, say in France or in the UK, think about what time it is there. In terms of the best time for posting, it actually varies according to the network. Some recent reading I've done suggests that most people are on Facebook and on Twitter in the afternoon, say from like 1 to 3 or 4 p.m. On Pinterest, most people are online apparently from 2 to 4 in the afternoon and very late in the evening, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. On Google Plus, a lot more people are online in the morning, say from 9 to 11. I don't currently rate Google Plus as a big platform for interaction, but that might change in the future. If there's one thing I can guarantee about the social networks and the internet in general, is that it's changing all the time. On LinkedIn, most fans are active early in the morning and early in the evening. So like from 7 to 9 in the morning and 5 to 6 in the evening. So these are just approximate times, and your fans might be more active on those platforms at different times, but it should give you a bit of an idea of where to start off with. The important lesson here is post when your fans are online. As you get more and more into social networking, how should your strategies change over time? You shouldn't just keep posting stuff without actually analyzing whether it's working or not. Firstly, listen to your followers. If you see that your followers are more interested in certain types of content than others, then you need to produce more of the interesting and engaging content and less of the other types of content. You should look at what other people are posting and learn from that. So if you see people in your niche posting and getting a lot of engagement from certain type of posts, try to post more of that type of content. Secondly, this strategy is related to listening to your followers. Produce more of the content that receives more engagement. For example, if it gets more comments or it gets more likes. This essentially means producing more blogs or more videos or posting more pictures of a certain theme. 3. Engage other operators in your niche for possible joint ventures. People love watching one blogger working with another blogger or one vlogger doing a video with another vlogger because it's just a lot more fun to watch two people. In addition to doing stuff together on social networks, you can also market to each other's niche, thereby jointly growing both of your followings. 4. You can occasionally bring up off-topic discussions that your fans will be interested by, but don't detract too often from your main business. Trying to do too much will hamper growth. I'll give you an example of what I mean by off-topic discussions. So, whilst my Facebook page is predominantly about kinky and curly hair, I know most of my followers are women and will be interested by woman things. So when I was pregnant, I posted some stuff about my pregnancy. When there was an interesting discussion going on in the media about breastfeeding in public, I posted that too. And that's because I know my fan base. If my page had been mostly men, I probably wouldn't have got as much engagement on those type of posts. But as it turned out, those are some of the most popular posts I've put up. The beauty of being in a sort of fashion/beauty category is that the consumer base does like to be entertained by other stuff. 5. I would personally steer clear of religion and politics. There is no way you can make everybody happy. Even if everyone says that they're a Christian, for example, different Christians have totally different beliefs. They can read one Bible verse and interpret it in two completely opposite ways. Same with politics. Two people will say they're both Democrats, but one is much more liberal than the other. So if your niche isn't about religion or politics, it's not really one of those areas you want to dabble in. Of course, it's up to you whether you decide to go into religion and politics or not. 6. Focus on one thing to start off with. Personally, I think even doing both hair and body care divides your fans' attention. You want to be the go-to person for one thing. When people think of that one product, they should think of you or your business. So for me, I want people to think hair, Heather. And that's what I focus on. Positioning by Al Ries and Jack Trout is just one of many books that I've read that suggests that focusing on just one thing is the best strategy. 7. Don't get discouraged by slow initial growth. Just continue to produce good quality branded content on a regular basis and tweak things based on progress. I've put a snapshot here to just show you an example of what it means to be consistent. So, one week I noticed that my Pinterest following had all of a sudden jumped from 4,000 to 7,000 followers. And when I looked at the followers, most of them didn't have followers themselves and didn't have pins. And I became really worried because I thought I was being followed by bots or some kind of spam. So I emailed Pinterest and said, I think I've got a spam problem on my Pinterest. And this was the email they sent to me. Essentially, they said, "You're quite the pinning superstar. In fact, our team likes your content so much, we're featuring you to some of the new users who joined Pinterest." What does this mean? You'll be a suggested person to follow so that new users get to see interesting, inspiring content right away. You may see an increase in your follower number and notifications. You don't need to do anything special. Just keep using Pinterest as normal and enjoy sharing with your new fans and followers. Happy pinning! What did this mean to me? It essentially meant that, Heather, it was a good decision to use Pinterest on a consistent basis because now Pinterest themselves have noticed, and in addition to my own efforts of growing my audience, I have Pinterest helping me. One of the slight disadvantages is that whilst my followers used to be all of a certain distribution, now the demographic has kind of changed on Pinterest only. So most of my followers are generally African American or Black from other areas of the world, but following the promotion on Pinterest, a lot of the people are Caucasian. I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem given the types of products I sell, but I think it won't be too much of a problem because even the hair products I'm producing are focusing on a hair problem, so dry hair, as opposed to generally a hair type. So it is an okay strategy. I'm just happy that despite slow initial growth on Pinterest, I didn't give up. And I would suggest the same for you. Even if growth is slow, focus and produce good content and good things will come. Finally, I suggest you spend some money on marketing to get word out. It's natural to be a little bit afraid of spending money on marketing because you're not sure if it'll actually work, but just spend a little bit of marketing here and there to see what works. And once you find out what works, the return you get from marketing is a lot more than the spend. That's the big reason why people do marketing anyway. It's because what they spend on marketing leads to larger sales and larger exposure. Please go to your training manual to do some of the exercises. The exercises you find in your training manual are asking you these sorts of questions. 1. Which social networks will you focus on growing over the next 12 months? 2. How many followers do you want per month? 3. What are your plans for growing and engaging fans on your social platforms? In addition to posting quality stuff, be good about including hashtags and ensuring that you're entertaining and engaging your fan base. The conclusion on social media strategy is have one. You have to be strategic about how you use social media because you'll end up wasting a lot of time if you don't. Choose 3 networks to start off with and focus on learning how they work. All the social media platforms work very differently, so to the extent that you can really get one, you'll do a lot better in building a following that will later become your customers. Next, listen to your fans. It's not all about one-way posting. People like you to respond to their comments and to engage with them. They want to feel like there is a real human on the other side. For help on setting up your profiles, for example, what information to include on your Facebook profile, see my book, Build a Booming Business. It's a really good quality book for that initial starting phase. I hope you enjoyed Module 22. I'll see you in the Mammoth Module 23, which is all about converting website hits to email subscribers and ultimately to customers. Yeah. See you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you'd like, subscribe, but importantly, in these COVID-19 times, please share this video with someone that is trying to start a business or trying to grow a business and would benefit from the information.